This week, we're in the beautiful state of West Virginia. We're going to be climbing way on top of things, way down below things, and we're going to meet some really cool people in between. I'm Mike Fink, and I'm stuck in a crack.
Kind of got a lavender taste to it. It tastes like it looks.
This is a copperhead. I'm going to get a big stick.
What is there to say? This is breathtaking. I can see why that's called the birth canal. Woo! Unbelievable. Hey there.
Good morning. How's
Morning.
it going?
Going good. How you doing?
Very good.
So tell me a bit about where we're at.
Lewis Farm, where we're standing, is a 100-acre farm site. We grow over 75 varieties of vegetables and flowers, all organic, most of which goes to our restaurant in town, Max Bingo Kitchen, and to the Wardensville Garden Market, a sister business as well.
So we started off the day by going to Lewis Farm, where I got to meet Hannah, who oversees a lot of the farm operations. She taught me a lot about the kinds of vegetables that are being grown there, and I even got to taste test some too, which was really fun.
I've never really eaten garlic like this before. Normally when I see it, it's just in the little can that I buy.
She even showed me which flowers are edible, and I was very surprised because some of those flowers were really good.
Kind of got a lavender taste to it. It tastes like it looks.
We walked around the farm, she took me through the greenhouses, she showed me what they had been growing that year, and she showed me some chickens as well. It's got roller windows. Did you kill it?
Cut that, please.
Don't cut that.
I swear I never stall. It's not my first day.
Farm Truck Wonders is such a cool project. This project started with 10 youth in 2016, started a little farm. Youth were working on the farm there for that summer, and an idea came up of what if we add a baked good to this? Got some other products, and so the idea of the market was born. We introduced a glass blowing studio in 2021, and just last August, we opened up Max Bingo Kitchen as our full-service restaurant. We believe that youth have inherent interests, which we call sparks. And if we combine that spark with opportunities and relationships, they have the best chance to thrive and find their unique contribution to the world.
Hey,
Hey,
how's it going? I'm Mike.
Byron Gaylor, nice to meet you.
So after going to Lewis Farm, we went to Dakota Glass Works. Byron took me through the process of how to blow glass and asked me if I wanted to try and make something myself, which of course I did.
So I'm opening this furnace, sticking a hot pipe in there, turning 1, 2, 3, back and down, and I'm coming out. So I'm always turning the glass right here. Once I stop turning, it falls right off. That's why we always want to turn.
That's why we're always turning. We're going as fast as we possibly can, heating and reheating this glass so that I'm able to shape it into the desired shape, which I kind of wanted to make a flower, but I don't think it looks like one. You know what? It was my first time. I'll give myself a little bit of slack. It doesn't look great, but it is mine.
So we are here and we're gonna hike up to this lookout point and then scramble our way up to the north point here. Is this the trail or is this just a picnic spot? We've arrived. This is it, the peak. I think we gotta go this way.
The Seneca Rocks hike was really beautiful. The woods were extremely dense. You get some extremely dense, extremely lush vegetation out here in West Virginia. There's tons of life, there's tons of water. The entire place feels so alive. It was a pretty misty hike on the way up. A little bit of rain, not much, nothing bad. And then we got up to the top and we were greeted with some of the most beautiful views standing out there on the ridge line on top of Seneca Rocks.
What is there to say? This is breathtaking. It's funny how you stand on solid ground and you're not falling anywhere. You're not worried about it in the slightest, but the second you get somewhere where you don't want to fall, all of a sudden standing up straight becomes a little bit more difficult. It's just beautiful up here. You can see the clouds breaking feel like we're kind of above everything. And this is beautiful Seneca Rocks.
We're in downtown Lewisburg, lots of Southern charm. Cafes, restaurants, art shops, everything you'd imagine in a picturesque little Southern town. So right now we're on one of West Virginia's many rail trails. What they've done is they've taken these old railroads that weren't in use anymore, stripped them out, and then replaced them with these nice, easy to walk trails. They're all over the place. Kind of a big thing in the South. I know we had them in Tennessee and North Carolina as well. Anytime you see a long, straight kind of green belt, it's about as wide as you'd imagine that an old train track might have been. Chances are it's a rail trail. We're on our way to a waterfall. We have the GPS coordinates and we might be heading in the wrong direction. But it's a beautiful day outside, so, you know, not too worried about that. Beautiful. That'll wake you up a little bit. Lost World Caverns is a large underground cavern system that attracts thousands of tourists every year. There's a large chamber with ceilings over 100 feet high, massive stalactites and stalagmites, and you can learn a lot about the underground ecosystem of the caves in this region. Can you finally clear it up? What is a stalactite versus what is a stalagmite?
The way we like to remember it around here, stalactites hold on tight to the ceiling so it's hanging down, and stalagmites you might trip over it, so they're growing up.
If you so choose, you can go on a guided wild cave tour where you hop the fence and actually proceed into the depths of the cavern. You've got to go with a guide, but it provides a much more adventurous caving experience, if that's what you're looking for.
Lost World Caverns was founded in 1942. It was founded when a farmer found this hole and he started using it as a garbage hole, threw everything from household trash to cattle, until eventually there were some Virginia Tech college students in the area. They rappelled down in and found one of the most beautiful formation dense caves around. Ever since, it's been an attraction for people of all over. So here behind me is the funnel. This is our first real squeeze. It's not too bad. We'll fit through pretty easy. But with that, you just want to kind of crab walk down on your butt. Make sure to watch your head, watch your step. I'll let you know when it's safe to come through, but you really just want to come down one at a time. If you don't, you have a tendency to kick the person in the head, and if they get revenge later, I didn't see a thing.
It's amazing how quiet it gets. You don't really hear quiet all that often in the above ground.
We got a cave cricket here. They're so numerous down here that the rule of thumb the guides like to use is that there's one within every 5 feet of you. Pretty much harmless, just don't look them in the eyes.
They might charge.
They might charge. If you've ever seen the movie Alien, it's similar to that.
Okay, yeah, just latch onto my face.
Yeah.
Cool, that's fine, I'm cool with that. So what do we have here?
This is what we call a pit. There's nothing really crazy about it, but for a couple weeks out of the year in the early spring, we get a lot of rainfall and snowmelt, and this thing will actually fill up to the brim. If you're on a wild tour while that is filled up, we'll actually let you jump in, almost like a cold plunge.
So this being groundwater filtered through the earth, would you say it's drinkable?
No, so we're actually, where we're not very far down actually. We're about 150 feet down right now. Not far enough down for anything to filter out, and we are directly underneath farmland. If you want to do the math there, it probably has a little bit of cow dung in it, but.
Don't drink it.
All right, Mike. So we're getting ready to go through the birth canal. Just to preface this is one of the tighter squeezes we do have down here. Also, there's gonna be about 6 inches of water towards the end, so you are gonna get a little wet.
Cool.
But what you wanna do is you just wanna put your head and torso up on this side, swing your legs around, and then head on down.
All right, see you on the other side.
See you on the other side.
Oh boy. So the birth canal is a very tight squeeze deep inside the cavern. It's not something that I could do with both arms at my side. I had to really adjust myself and come in at an angle to be able to fit through this thing. And the entire time you're in about 6 inches of standing cold cave water. I've done a lot in caves, but being stuck in a tiny little space like that and soaking wet, that's new for me. It was really fun.
I can see why that's called the birth canal. Whew. And that's Lost World Caverns. Super fun.
All right, glad you guys
Thanks,
enjoyed it.
man. Thank you. Man, a lot of cool history in there. Yeah. And now we know the difference between stalactites and stalagmites. If you take nothing else from this, take that with you. And don't forget it again, because I know you will. Right on. Hey, thanks, man.
Thanks for coming.
Today, we are on the North Fork Trail, heading into the Cranberry Wilderness. This is about a 13, 14 mile loop. Should make for good camping. We're in another really interesting location. You can see everything's really lush. It gets a lot of rain here, so Gore-Tex is a good thing. I'm not wearing Gore-Tex. Lots of life around here, lots of flowers. This is just another example of the mini ecosystems you can see out here in West Virginia.
So hiking through the Cranberry Wilderness, there was so much lush vegetation. Everything was dense, everything was dark, everything was alive. The ground was soggy from where it just retained so much moisture. We hiked alongside creeks for a good bit of the hike, so there was just tons of life, animals, deer, all living in this little area that we were passing through.
We found a great spot, but unfortunately, somebody else found it first. So now we're looking for a new place to make camp, preferably by this nice little creek here. So we've picked our spot here. Now we're gonna set up camp. We're gonna hang out by the river. We're gonna take it easy. And most importantly, we're gonna eat. Might even have ourselves a nice little fire here and just kick back for the rest of the evening. We're on a quest. We're gonna find some firewood, and then we're gonna do something fun. We're gonna make a fire with this fun little thing that I bought at REI the other day. If I don't use my little fire kit and get a fire going, it's gonna be real embarrassing.
I had with me this really cool little fire in a can kit that used magnesium and a flint striker, so you could try to make fire the old-fashioned way. And I did my absolute best, but I couldn't do it. The odds were not in my favor. I wound up resorting to cheating a little bit.
We're gonna do it the old-fashioned way.
But you know what? That's okay. I'll get it next time.
Good morning. I don't know about you, but I slept like a baby. We're gonna get a little breakfast this morning using my fun little pocket rocket stove. There we go. To any new hikers out there, you can be a coffee addict and still do this. Starbucks, never heard of it. This is Mike Bucks. Just like Mom used to make. I've been able to keep my shoes mostly dry today. Let's see if I can keep it up. Might have to do a little hopscotch here. No biggie, no biggie. That was a little wobbly. Look at that. It's almost like we went from regular old West Virginia to the rainforest. Beautiful.
trail on the way out was just as good as it was on the way in. We were started off in this lowland, marshy kind of area with really sloppy trails, and eventually we got into some dry stuff, and it was an easy, beautiful hike out.
Nice
Brian
to meet
Williams,
you.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Brian. Tell me a bit about this place. What do you do here?
So I'm the operations manager here at NROX Outdoor Adventures in Circleville, West Virginia, and our primary activity is the Via Ferrata that we'll be checking out today. Via Ferrata is an Italian phrase that essentially means the iron path. It's a unique style of rock climbing that allows beginners, much like yourself, to experience this really extreme activity that's often inaccessible to inexperienced climbers.
And what kind of heights are we expecting once we get up there on the top?
So today, at the very highest point, we'll be about 300 feet off the ground with views closer to about 600 feet.
Right on, well, let's get started.
Awesome.
Approaching INROX, you drive up into this long gravel driveway, and you see, cresting from up above the tree line, these huge rock faces just jutting over the tops of the mountains. And I'm not gonna lie, it gave me the heebie-jeebies. I've been on plenty of high stuff before, but the thought of scaling something so sheer is just a little bit intimidating.
So the Via Ferrata route consists of the rock formation itself. A lot of times today we'll have stainless steel steps, and then most importantly we have this steel cable that's bolted into the rock every few feet. What do you think the most important rule is today?
I'd say the most important rule is to always be clipped in on at least one of these.
Exactly, I couldn't word that better myself. Most of the time we'll have two. Whenever we have to transition, as I'll show in a moment, we temporarily have one. That's fine, one is plenty strong to catch us if we fall. If I take them both off, what is there to catch me if I fall?
The ground?
Sure, nothing essentially.
Cool.
We find it's very important, choose one hand, one carabiner, then make sure to come back with that same hand for the second carabiner. That makes it very difficult to accidentally unclip.
The beginning of the climb was the most nerve-wracking part because you start at the bottom and you go straight up. That was kind of unusual for me. I don't know if it was Brian's excellent explanation or me just being exceptionally brave, but I wasn't really that worried. I hit the bottom of the Via Ferrata and went up.
Have you looked down yet?
Now I'm going to. Been avoiding that for the most part. So we're climbing up the Via Ferrata here, and I'm starting to get used to it. It's not as dicey as it looks. I'm having a very good time out here.
So this bridge is about the halfway mark of our tour today. The bridge is approximately 200 feet long and 150 feet above the ground. And you can see it's composed of wooden 2x4s with about 1.5 feet between each one.
Awesome.
How are you feeling about the bridge?
I'm loving it, man.
Good.
The bridge never worried me. So here we are on the Via Ferrata Bridge. It's a little wobblier than it looks. I'm not sure if the camera's picking that up 100%. Yeah. Oh, it's cool. It kind of feels like you're standing still and the bridge is moving underneath you. It's kind of a really weird feeling. Sort of sucks the wind out of you at first. This is fun, but I'm ready to be back on solid ground.
Nice job, welcome to the top. Thanks for coming out.
Thanks, buddy.
What'd you think?
Amazing. Unbelievable. Woo! That's quite the drop. Gotta love it.
West Virginia is a warm, inviting state full of wonderful people. And the variety that you get in the ecosystems out here is unlike a lot of other states. alpine forests, there's dense lowland marshes, there's big rolling hills, and there's sharp, jagged cliff edges, all right there for you to explore. There's a ton to do in West Virginia, and it's all right here at your fingertips. This has been an extremely varied week, and it's one that I would happily have again.
And that's West Virginia. We ate some stuff, we made some stuff, we went way beneath the surface of the earth, and we climbed way over top of it, and we met some really cool people in between. Until next time, I'm Mike Fink with Epic Trails, and I'll catch you around.